Hello, everyone. I want to introduce to you Brooklyn Valdez, and she is a recent graduate whose roots are from the San Luis Valley, and I will let her tell you a little bit more about herself.
Yeah, so my name is Brooklyn Valdez. I was born in San Luis. My parents are Eric Valdez and Elisa Gallegos. I was raised there till I was about 2 and then moved to Colorado Springs, but I go back at least 5 times a year to visit. My family still lives there, so that's where I'm from. So I started off in public school, and then my mom decided it'd be best to send me to private school, which I was kind of nervous about, but I think it was for the best. So started going to private Catholic schools and really got into basketball early on and soccer. So that's kind of been what's motivated me through all of high school, especially. Won back-to-back state championships for basketball, and then should have won a third, but got canceled because of coronavirus. So I don't know, it's kind of been a rough experience ending high school this way, but I think it'll be okay, just something to remember.
Yeah, it's tough times for everybody, and I can't imagine, going through your last semester of high school during this crazy COVID time. So tell me, before we go into that, the last part of your high school career, what was high school like for you?
So we were at state in Denver, actually. We had just played our first round of state for basketball, and then all of us were looking at our phones because we were just, basketball was all that was on our mind all day. We don't really check social media. And then we all looked at our phones after our game, and everyone's posting like all these schools are closing, and we were like, what is happening? We saw that, and then one of our teachers is an assistant coach, so we were like, do you know what's happening? And she was like, I doubt we'll close, because our principal is very strict about us going into school.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I don't think we'll close. And then that night at 11, we got the announcement from CHSAA that the state tournament was canceled. So they decided that we needed to go back to school the next day. And we were like, how are we supposed to go back to school? We were all just crying, like, our coaches were like, I don't know why you have to go back to school. So we went back, and it was so weird walking in. They had all the students in the cafeteria. They were just like had a little meeting with the whole school about what was going to be happening. And we got there right at the end of the day. So we had no idea. They were like, all the basketball girls are going to have to come in later, like email us. So we were all super confused. We didn't get the whole introduction of what online school would be like. The teachers, you could tell, were just freaking out. It was super weird to walk into. And so then we started online school. It was really, we had no idea what we were doing. Our teachers had no idea what they were doing, but they started to catch on. And then they decided it'd be easiest to not give us finals because, there was kind of, anyone could look stuff up. There was not much to be taught at that point. It was kind of worksheets and like, I don't know, it was just really weird. But and then things kept getting pushed out, like prom was canceled, our senior retreat was canceled, and graduation was pushed back to Saturday, which just happened. So
how did you deal with all of that? What kind of what did you have to dig deep into to kind of push yourself through to get through? You weren't able to finish your basketball season, or did you finish the season? You just missed the championship. What was that
right
about?
So we kind of just ended it there. It's really weird, but I usually would, at the beginning, I'd go to the gym and keep shooting and working out, trying to just get my mind off of things, but then they closed the gyms too. And then so I'd go on runs around my neighborhood. Couldn't really hang out with anybody. It was, I don't know, it was super weird. It was hard, especially having to sit in your house all day, and like that's all I could think about. It's not like I could go do anything really.
Yeah, so tough. What was it like academically? Did you do well?
Yeah, I did well. It was really just showing up to classes. They would take attendance if you were on a Zoom call like this, and then you'd have worksheets and you had to turn them in by 3, which was like our normal end time for school. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was as effective. I didn't learn as much, but I got it done, which matters, I guess.
Good. So tell me a little bit about just having an undefeated season and what that was like. Were you undefeated the whole 4 years of high school, or? did this just
So,
last year?
um, last year we lost one game. We played Cherry Creek, they're a 5A team, and they won state the previous year, so we knew it was going to be a difficult game, especially when they have thousands of kids going to their school and we have 200 to pick from. So, that was the only game we lost all year this year, and then my sophomore and junior year, we had only lost one game each of those years too. It was to like our rivalry. But yeah, I want to say we've only lost about 5 games through my 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what does that take, do you think, to be able to have a team that's as successful as yours?
I really think it's the connection between the girls. I think we succeed because, like I said, having such a small school, you know everyone. And so with us, it wasn't like we had to introduce each other. It wasn't awkward. We weren't shy to play together. And we have a program that happens before high school. It's called like the Mini Lady Pirates. And so we all meet each other in around 6th grade, and that's when we start playing. And the coach there knows the coaches for St. Mary's, so he starts showing us the plays early on. I think it's all just kind of routine how often you're doing it. We'd all go to the gym. We have open gyms way before a lot of the other schools, or we'll just go to the park and shoot. I don't know. I feel like we just wanted it a lot, and that's what really mattered.
Cool. So it was a combination of coaching and teamwork, trusting each other as a team, and knowing each other for a long time, it sounds like.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So what about academics throughout high school? Did you do pretty well?
Yeah, so my freshman year, I struggled a little bit. At my school, you have to have community service hours turned in by the end of every grade that you're done with. And freshman year, I didn't really know that. I was like, community service hours, like, what am I supposed to do? I can't drive myself. Yeah, but I finished with at least a 3.7 every year, so came out with a 3.85 GPA average, which is pretty good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me about one of your best memories, either in high school as a whole or during your basketball season, one of your best memories or a shining moment.
So my favorite memory is the first year we won state, which was my sophomore year. Everyone there was cheering for the other team. So it was hard to we usually use the crowd's energy. You know, when people are cheering, it keeps you going, but people started cheering for the other team, and I don't know, we just had to not get in our heads about it. And we knew that we could do it, but we were the only ones there who thought that. And then when we won, it kind of all felt like a dream, because when I was younger, I'd heard people talk about state and like how cool it is, and I just never really understood the hype kind of. And then once you're there and there's that many people, I don't know, it's crazy. Like the news just came and started interviewing all of us.
How cool.
Yeah.
What's that like, to be able to be interviewed by the news?
It was, I don't know, I was more in shock. I was so excited, didn't really know what to say, but it was a good experience, especially staying humble. Our coaches always talk about in the interviews, like, you never disrespect the other team, you never, say anything you shouldn't. So I learned a lot through interviews also about the things you should say and the things you should keep to yourself.
Nice. So you came in as the underdog. Did the crowd turn in your favor at any point?
Yeah, because then the next year, the same teams that were there started cheering for us.
Nice.
And we were like, yeah, that's what we thought.
I bet that felt pretty cool. Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what about an obstacle that you overcame? Can you share a little bit about that?
So our head coach was gone for the first 5 games of our season last year, and our assistant coaches had to take over. But our assistant coach that does the most, he works really late, so he could never really make practices unless it was the day before a game. He'd take it off. So we had to ask one of our teachers. We were kind of just like, if anybody could just show up to practice, we could figure it out, but we had to have, an adult there. And so that was really hard. like summer leagues were really important because that was all the practice you got before the season started, and then that couldn't happen anymore. So it was kind of up to every girl to do stuff on their own.
Wow. So what did you do? How did you get motivated?
So the girls, like I said, are really close. Like we hang out all the time, basketball season or not. So we all decided we needed to take the matter into our hands and figure out what we were going to do. So we started, like I said, we'd go to the park and just find really good guys to scrimmage because, you know, the boys that go to the park are super good here. And we knew that that would probably be the best competition we'd get for a while. So we did that a lot. We'd scrimmage each other. We'd do whatever we could to get our gym open. Yeah, just a lot of figuring out ways to still make the best of it.
Good. Still practice.
Yeah.
As you could. So what's the best word, advice or words of encouragement that you've received or inspiration that sort of helped you either get through those tough times or get through this last semester or any other time where you felt maybe your game wasn't on point or anything like that? What got you through?
So my mom was telling me after we found out that state got canceled, she was like, don't let this diminish anything you've done in the past. She said, you've already won 2, and this doesn't take those away from you. Nothing can take that away from you. Because she went to state when she went to Sierra Grande, and they lost at the championship. So she's always been really proud of what I've done, and she's always, you know, been inspiring and like, this is what you've accomplished. Don't let anyone take it away from you, because that's something a lot of people don't have.
That's awesome. That's great advice. Yeah. I remember when that team went to state. That was at Centennial. So what plans and aspirations do you have for after high school?
So this fall I'm attending CU Boulder, and I'm going to be majoring in biomedical engineering.
Wow.
So yeah, that's going to be pretty difficult but a lot of fun. I plan on doing either club or intramural soccer and basketball. Yeah, and then also I'm going to start working this summer, so
nice.
Just the usual stuff you do before college.
So what is your major again?
Biomedical engineering.
Biomedical engineering. Wow. So you have a really good scientific background?
Yeah, like chemistry. I love chemistry.
Oh.
I don't know why. I'm pretty good at math. I don't like it as much, but I'm decent at it, so I don't know. I felt like it was the right thing to do.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And what do you plan to do with that degree? Do you want to go on to become a doctor, or do you have what do you want to do?
Yeah, so there's 2 like paths you could take after the 4 years of biomedical engineering. You could either go on to med school, or you could just start working right away. So if you go to med school, that's if you want to be more like a neurosurgeon type, and like figuring out stuff like that where it actually involves surgery. Or after the 4 years, you can just start working. So you would just start building like artificial limbs and stuff like that. So I'm I don't know what to do yet, but I have until my sophomore year of college to decide. So I'm just going to see how it goes and figure it out from there.
That sounds awesome. Sounds like a lot of fun. Well, congratulations again, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm excited to see what you do throughout college, and to see where it takes you. So congratulations again, and thanks for doing this interview with me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been a La Gente Legacy production and the Successful in the SLV series. Stay tuned for more.